After the recent trouble at Joliet Prison, state corrections officials there said that they will never be able to solve the gang problem until the communities do. With that in mind, we thought that you'd be interested in seeing a report on a Chicago organization called B.U.I.L.D.
On the count of 3 now. 1, but remember, the closer you watch, the less you see. 2, you're watching too close, you can't see a thing.
B.U.I.L.D. means Broader Urban Involvement in Leadership Development. It's a youth organization that some say works magic. Not exactly the kind of magic that Signote Steel executive Joe Pollan demonstrated at a B.U.I.L.D. Awards dinner this year. No, the magic B.U.I.L.D. works takes place in the streets, in neighborhoods plainly marked as a youth gang territory, where every summer there are shootings, sometimes killings, and where this year the gunfire has already begun.
I'm shooting things. That's wild.
You got my other one.
People come around, like right now we play basketball, somebody come in a car, shoot from there and keep going, you know?
Hey, heard that?
Oh, they shoot right in there?
I see we got all these little kids, our little brothers and that.
Do you know who's doing the shooting?
You don't get to see
Different
them.
groups or anything?
Yeah.
Gangs like the one that fired into this playground have been crossing paths lately with people like Mingo Ayala, a street work coordinator for B.U.I.L.D. His job? Get youngsters involved in programs that will provide opportunities for success outside the gang structure. Mingo is good at his job, and in all likelihood, some of these youngsters will soon be involved in one or more of B.U.I.L.D.'s 14 leadership development programs. They're all coordinated at B.U.I.L.D.'s headquarters at 1223 North Milwaukee. Here, full-time staffers like Mingo and like educational coordinator Chris Padula meet with the part-time workers who run the programs in the neighborhoods in which they live.
Looking at that, social workers come in, get imported, they do their job, they do a good job, but they leave and nobody's any the better for it. What we want to do is work with people in the community to develop the leadership in them so that they will remain in the community and help this community grow and prosper.
Out of such meetings come programs like B.U.I.L.D.'s tutoring sessions. 7th and 8th graders working with younger kids, giving them the one-on-one attention they're not likely to get in school.
The name of cities and states and other particular places should begin with capital letters. For example, Denver, Michigan, Lake Superior. Write these sentences and use capital letters where they should be used. Okay.
B.U.I.L.D. does not wait for youngsters to come to it. Workers like Lorenzo Vasquez visit schools to tell students like these Wicker Park pupils about the dangers of using drugs.
What we do is present factual knowledge about drugs.
Once students become interested in B.U.I.L.D., there are questions about its other activities.
Also, on May 1st, we're having an ice skating trip. And all of you are welcome. It's going to be at the Rainbow.
To get that to a percent, then, we say we have a very simple way to do this.
Many of the young people B.U.I.L.D. workers encounter have dropped out of school, so there are classes that lead to the equivalent of a high school diploma.
Okay, as a token from B.U.I.L.D. to help celebrate and express our congratulations, I would like to present this check and certificate to Holly Juran. Holly? The certificate. And also to Yolanda Pedrosa.
This night, besides the regular classwork, there is a graduation ceremony for several students who have completed the program. For Yolanda Pedrosa, the B.U.I.L.D. class was opportunity knocking twice.
Usually when you're in school, you do that. You figure you can do better outside and you don't need school. But later on, you find out you need it. You know? That's why I went back and tried for it and got it, thanks to B.U.I.L.D. Of all B.U.I.L.D.'s programs, the most popular and the one that most effectively draws in youngsters and exposes them to other activities is athletics. Tonight, a team of B.U.I.L.D. All-Stars has taken on none other than the Chicago Police Department. The game is rough, but not as rough as the kind of on-the-street confrontations between cops and kids that B.U.I.L.D. is trying to head off.
This is helping them to straighten out and go in the right direction, I think, and it shows them that policemen are humans just like anybody else, and they've probably beaten us out here. but we're giving them a good fight.
They put up a good game, though. They did all right. Be so old, they did all right.
No, the cops didn't do badly for a bunch of old guys, and neither does Bob Jemilo, a tough-talking ex-boxer who started B.U.I.L.D 6 years ago. Started it to put into practice some of the things he'd learned in 11 years of social work.
So for me to say that we're going to be substitute parents and we're going to make 4,000 pillars of society would be a bunch of crap. We start off on a very simple, basic premise that we'd look at an individual, say, where is he at now, and how can we tailor-make a program for his own growth and for the growth of his community? And we have a ladder system. As I mentioned, 250 jobs about last summer, full-time people that were working for us. And they start off at different levels and gradually assume more and more responsibility. We know how important it is to an image to be able to earn something, but if they view it as a rip-off, you're not helping them mentally. You're putting some money in their pocket, which in a poor area I don't discount either. But the important thing is to put some money in their pocket and build up, let them provide some services and build up their self-concept while they're hopefully building up the self-concept of others. And we don't look at the person who stays with Bill the rest of his life because with $250,000, how many jobs can we offer? We look at it's an oasis in a desert where they can come and get their heads together, get refreshed at a time when there's a lot happening and negative stuff on the street. If we could keep them from falling all the way down and getting the sheet on them or putting that needle in their arm or picking up that gun and sticking up somebody, if we can keep them from doing that and through that rough edges, and then they got to spin off and make it on their own. We can open, we can get the knock on and make the door open, but they got to get up and then take it from there.
And so I think it's
keeping that oasis in the desert green is a full-time job for Jemilo, partially funded by state and federal grants. B.U.I.L.D also relies on private contributors to meet its $243,000 a year budget.
We're talking about making up $20,000 in a period of a bad economy. So I think our work is cut out for us in terms of what the financial picture looks like for this year.
The fact that Jemilo has kept his organization small, his books in order, and yet been able to involve more than 4,000 young people impresses businessmen. And it convinced Sun-Times publisher Marshall Field, who is now a B.U.I.L.D backer.
I never met a gang kid that was enthusiastic about anything, and they were enthusiastic about B.U.I.L.D. And I found this impressive.
Enthusiasm is a hallmark of B.U.I.L.D's activities, and nowhere is there more of it than the organization's annual trophy dinner. This year, B.U.I.L.D members packed Patrika's restaurant at Grand and Western to see basketball teams with names like the Courtmasters and the Bell Street Boys receive their trophies. Trophies which, as Bob Jemilo puts it, are really small monuments to success.
It's nice to see an organization that doesn't want to get big just for the sake of getting big.
That's what Bob Jemilo really feels is the hallmark of his success. Once you get too big, he feels you lose that contact which is so necessary with the street to keep in touch with the kids.
A question still remains, of course, and that is who won the basketball game, the cops or the kids?
No, the All-Stars. The kids did. 62-52.
So those cops undoubtedly are guarding the alley behind police station from police headquarters now as a result.
We want to give some people some more information on where they can get in touch with some of these people. You can call 227-2880 next week and ask for Bob Jemilo or one of his staffers there. They'll tell you how you can get help or you can give help.